Welcome to Conversations with Cubit, and thank you for joining me tonight. And thanks for supporting these weekly conversations. Okay. I got your messages about not having a show last week. We were just busy, that's all. But we're back. And tonight we will be back with a badly needed breath of fresh air. We have experienced a lot of negative events in the news the last few weeks, and we just want to keep away from all of that and share some really good news with you tonight, okay? So I'm excited tonight to get to introduce you to a community game changer. But we will get to that, all of that, shortly. Maybe, just maybe, this is your first time joining the conversation. If so, I want to welcome you to the family. And yes, we consider you family. My team and I are excited that you found your way here. And to our regular loyal viewers, thank you for all of the words of encouragement that you send to my inbox. Just keep them coming. I love it. You can also join us live on YouTube as we speak. You can find all of our past conversations on my YouTube channel. Just look up Conversations with Cubit. And once you get there, please subscribe. Please hit the like button, please. We really want to increase our viewers on YouTube, so please help us out a little bit. Share. We have some great conversations posted there and some amazing folks we've talked to. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. But right now, I need you to do me a favor and share tonight's conversation. Please do not keep this conversation to yourself. Share it with your community. This is an important conversation. I'm telling you, we're talking about youth. Listen, have you heard of Green Pasture Studios? Of course you have, especially if you are a regular viewer of this show. We are back home inside the studio for tonight's conversation. Green Pasture Studios is in the movie making business. That's right, full-fledged movie production, commercials, and even a film training academy. They actually teach people of all ages how to work in the film and movie industry, all right here in Oklahoma City. The studio is located out in the Spencer area of Oklahoma, and they give these weekly conversations at home. And this is an extremely nice place to regularly broadcast from, and we are grateful for this space. So please look them up. Now, I do need to share with you my 3 very simple goals for having these weekly conversations. And they're very simple, and it's only 3. 1, add value to people and to my community. 2, I want to inspire you to believe in what people and communities can become when we're willing to work together. And last but not least, love people, period. That's all. All this means is I want you to be inspired. I want you to get useful information and resources, and I want to celebrate individuals, groups, and organizations who are making a positive impact on our community. Every conversation will be about information, inspiration, and hope. Now, if you know anyone with school-age kids, tag them right now, because joining me tonight is Darron Lamkin. Darron is not only a community champion, but he's a friend. Darron is the founder of Class Matters, a dynamic organization that is dedicated to promoting engineering, aviation, and computer science education and other opportunities to boys and girls underrepresented in STEM. I met Darron several years ago while I was running the police department's youth outreach program called FACT, and we were able to partner together. And I was able to see Darron's work with young people on a weekly basis for myself. Darron and his team are working to create a more equitable and just society where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Darron is a true leader in the field of education, and I am super excited to share him and his work with you. Folks, help me welcome my friend, Dr. Darron Lamkin to Conversations with Cubit. You're here, man.
I appreciate you, dog. It's a pleasure.
Tell me about this doctor, though. I mean, because you don't introduce yourself as doc, but I figured it out. I do a little creeping around. I found it out.
I don't like talking about myself. It actually makes me uncomfortable. I tell people all the time, I'm just the president, God is the CEO.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I wanted to do it because that was the ceiling. Once you reach a ceiling, they create another one. And so I was like, what is above the ceiling that they can't tell me no anymore? And that was the PhD. So that's why I went and got it.
Doc.
So now they can't take it from me.
That don't mean you can take my temperature or pulse or anything.
No. So I'm not a medical doctor.
No. All right. So I'm throwing something new on you.
Yes, sir.
Today. So inside my pocket I have, I usually do these rapid fire to help us get to know folks. but since you're a PhD, I thought I can bring out
Challenge.
the challenge since you're a PhD.
Oh,
so
goodness.
these things called culture tags.
Okay.
So I just grabbed 3 or 4 of these,
Right.
and I thought that I would test you to see if that PhD thing, because I know I'll give you clues. What happens is I'll give this, you show everybody here, and I'm going to give you clues. This is the first letter of every word in the statement, and I can't say any of these words, but I got to help you figure out what this tag would be. Y'all got
Gotcha.
it? Y'all got it?
Okay.
Y'all got it? Yeah, everybody got it. All right, you ready?
Yes,
And
sir.
there's no time limit, but don't be a
All right.
dummy. Don't be a dummy and take 5 years.
No, I'm definitely not going to take 5 years.
Okay, all right, here we go.
I will pass.
All right, this is from Black Twitter. This
Black
is from Black Twitter.
All right.
And
What you not going to do?
bam. I didn't hit anybody, did I? Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Chief.
This is just the daily sayings. There's just the daily sayings. All right. This is
the category.
This is just a saying, and I'm just gonna say when I have something to eat,
Yeah.
and you want a bite of it, and you know I got plenty to share, and I'm just not gonna give you none anyway. You might say,
Okay, we got some ATBLT.
I'm just not gonna share, and I should be able to share, and you're gonna pay me back for it later. So you say this.
Ain't nobody got time for that. No.
Ooh, close.
Ain't about that life. No.
I see how you are. This is another version of this.
I see how you are. Oh, I see how you are. You gonna act like that. You gonna be like that. You gonna or no.
Oh.
Be like that. Okay, I know. Be like that.
Okay.
Be like
All right,
that.
Yes.
Okay, be like that. All right, go ahead. What is it?
All right, then. Be like that.
I would have never guessed that. All right, then. My bad, man.
Oh,
All right, then. Be like.
All
I
right,
got the
maybe you
last
get this
part.
one. Maybe you get this.
Come
This is
on
from
now.
church. This is from church.
Don't let me be
This
a
is
heathen
from church.
today. All right.
Here's the clue.
All right.
And from church, they might say, the reason you don't have it, you can depend on him. Knock on the door and he will answer.
Knock on the door, he will answer. You have nobody. No.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. You're getting there. You're getting there.
Nobody but your.
There's a reason. There's a reason that you were broke.
Oh, you have nobody to blame, but you're. Oh my God, turn it off. Hold on, pause.
Come on, PhD. Come on, PhD. That's a really good clue.
You have nobody to blame, but you're.
Oh, that's
close.
But church. Think of him. Think of him. He delivers.
You have nobody to blame.
Prayer is our request.
Yes.
Knock on the door.
And it should be answered.
Yeah, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
And giving it against.
Oh my
you.
God.
Oh my God, it's gonna bother me.
Put it in the comments. Y'all know.
You have
not because
you have not because you have not. You asked not.
All right.
You have not because you asked not.
All right. This one
That was easy.
That was easy.
You
that
have
one was easy.
not. Because,
It was some pretty good clues too.
Yeah, you
All
really
right,
did great
Here's,
on that.
Yeah,
You
Black
had-
Twitter. Black Twitter. All right, here we go. Black Twitter. We used to say back in the day, in my old days, we used to say, you dip it in the Kool-Aid, you don't even know what time it is. You in my business.
Stay in your lane.
Bang! You 50%, Professor.
I'll take that.
You did that.
Yeah, I'll
All
take
right.
that.
Come on now.
You have not. I was.
You have not because you
have
asked. Yes.
That's a word right there. That'll preach right there now.
That'll preach. That'll
Yes,
preach.
sir.
All right, man. So we know that these culture tags and games may not be your lane. May not be your lane.
Been a minute.
It's been a minute. But what you do know is a whole lot about yourself. Tell the rest of us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, man? Where you come from? What did you do? Where'd you grow up? All that good stuff.
So, come from the Northeast, Oklahoma City, and by way of Texas. So we went back and forth from Oklahoma to Texas, and but home is northeast Oklahoma City, Park State.
Douglas?
Yeah. So
Or Northeast?
So we did some illegal things, right? So then we lived in the area, but we drove, for a different opportunity. Use somebody else's address.
That's Black Twitter.
There we go. Use somebody. So I actually graduated from Putnam City originally.
Okay.
And so I wrestled, and so I wasn't getting any opportunities. And then as soon as I switched to Putnam City, I got so many scholarships from Kansas, Texas, and then I went to Oklahoma State. That's where I got my undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering, and then I got a master's degree as well in industrial engineering. So, yeah, man, family man, love to give back, love to pay it forward, and I'm just trying to make my mama proud. That's it.
Tell me, okay, so you work with kids, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. But tell me an early childhood experience that kind of shaped the man you are right now.
Yeah, so I would say at a young age, I was gifted. I was ambidextrous. I could write with the left. I was talented, and then I got into an accident and with a power bat, and then I had to start over from scratch.
Power bat.
Yeah. So you know how you try to get the hook up. You got a Cactus Jack. We went to Cactus Jack, and we was in a batting cage. And you're supposed to be one at a time. It clearly says in big bold letters, but we only had certain tokens left. So, we take turns, right? So I hit my turn, boom. Okay, then he hits his turn, and then when he swung so hard, he lost the bat, hit me in the head.
Wow.
So I was in the coma for a few weeks. Then I come back out, had to learn how to walk, talk, everything. So all that talent went away. So after that, they like, hey, we're gonna put you in learning lab, learning disability. And I wanted to be smart, but my brain just wouldn't do it anymore. And so I had to work extra hard, and I was getting letters that I didn't even know exist in the alphabet because I was a straight A student, and now I'm a straight F student. And so it's like, how do I move from this? And so one day, I'm like tinkering. Just breaking things and putting them back together. And my mom got frustrated with me. She says, if you're gonna do it, use all the parts. And so I had a remote control car, and I took it apart and I put it back together. And she said, good job. And so from that, I was like, there's something here. And so then I learned not only how the inside of things work, but how the outside. So once I learned how my brain works, then I started getting good. Then I wasn't in learning lab anymore. Then I was a regular student, and I was treated more than a dummy, right? And so that's why I say now you don't know yourself until you get to know yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. You don't know yourself till you get to know yourself. And so you're examining what's on the inside.
Right.
So that you get to know what's on the outside.
Exactly.
I like that. All right. So powerful story. I'm glad I asked that question. It helps me understand you a little bit more. But it also helps us understand why you do what you do a little bit, probably too.
Yeah.
Right. So before we talk about this organization that I noticed to be wonderful called Class Matters.
Yes, sir.
Class Matters is all about STEM.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure I understand STEM, so I understand culture tags.
Right. For sure.
Right. So before we go into what Class Matters is and the education part that you do with STEM, tell us what STEM is.
Yeah, so it's more than an acronym to me. The acronym stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. But with Class Matters, I promote STEM is all around you. And so my favorite show was MacGyver, right?
Yeah.
You would take things and make it work for you. And so that's what I want to do with the kids. Is saying you can't afford all these big robots and all these fancy things because they cost $5,000-$10,000. But what do you have? Whatever you have, make it work for you. And so that's the premise behind Class Matters. Is STEM is all around you. So STEM is taking some things and figuring out the why and the how. And once you figure out the why and the how do you make it work for you?
Right. So tell us where this. So you're saying STEM is all around us.
Yes, sir.
Give us an example of where how do you make kids understand that it's all around them? What's the pitch?
Tinkering. So we will have a trash day, right? Whatever you think is trash, our goal is to make it treasure. So one kid brought in a bunch of water bottles. And so I had some electronic devices, and I took them apart and we opened them up. I said, today we're gonna make water bottle flashlights. And so we took the water bottle, cut it up, put the electronic pieces in there. There's our STEM. So everybody had different pieces, and we just took different pieces from that and made it into something we needed to impact the community.
Yeah. So we see the pathway here. It's incredible. But we see the pathway here. Why did you decide that you needed to give this to youth?
Oh man, again, I'm big on reading, and so all the literature says we don't want to learn it. We're just not cut out for it.
We, as in
Black people.
Black people.
Yeah, you're right. All literature supports that, and also literature says if you work with high school, it's too late. So all the literature says elementary or nothing at all, and specifically 3rd through 5th. And so I exist to prove things wrong. That's how I feel. Because I was given a label of you will not thrive. Failure to thrive, that's my label. And so my goal is to take the label off and make it a lie out of it.
Right.
Limit me, just don't limit my God. That's what I'm saying. And so with that, it's like, okay, where do we go from here? And it is creating a narrative that you don't see. And so for me, I didn't see any professionals, right? Any STEM professionals. The only time I seen a suit was at a funeral. And so it's like, that's why I'm intentional with wearing a suit everywhere I go. And so for me, it's one of those things where it saved my life. And that's why the youth is impressionable, because you can change their mind and you can also change their heart.
That's good. All right, I gotta know. Tell us about Class Matters, the program in and of itself. Give us what a day-to-day might look like.
Day-to-day. So,
well, who's the ages? Tell us the ages.
Yeah. So the ages are primarily high school, and it's peer to near peer. So the high schoolers mentor the middle schoolers, and in the summer, the high schoolers and the middle schoolers, I pay them to mentor the elementary. So everything they've been learning throughout the year, I then pay them over the summer to pay it forward and give back. And so in our summer camps for elementary kids, we have about 80 to 300 in that. And just seeing those young people just pay it forward and give back, that's what it's about. And so we have little activities that we design to make it personal, and so they can teach. So each one teach one. And so we have these kits, and then they build them, they design them, they have to teach them. And so for next week, for example, they're actually going to present their project. So they created apps and designs and websites that will impact their community. And so the most powerful one for me was the issue with dispensaries for them. They said the dispensaries on every corner makes it feel like it's okay to smoke weed at a young age.
Okay.
Because all the advertisement exists for that. So I said, what are we gonna do about that problem if that convinces you that you should do drugs? Well, we're gonna figure out a way to not promote addiction. And then by showing images that how addictions negatively affect families. And so their app that they designed is promoting the negative struggles of addiction and how it impacts the family, and then the positive things that we can do when they're feeling peer pressured. And so flipping it.
Right, and then and an app.
Yeah.
High school students.
So middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From not just one school, a variety of different schools.
Yeah, within CwC, and so Oklahoma City Public School. So I partner with that, and then quarterly we do big events where my core group of students on the Northeast side, they become the mentors and they host the whole conference. And then I have an advisory team, and we just give them direct feedback on how they did. How did it well, what went well, what did not go well. There's a lot of people that work with me in industry. And they just help me pay it forward and give back to these kids.
Yeah, other engineers.
Other engineers, other of the HR people.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's a lot of people because people just think engineering is just that scientist, is just that geek. No, we have a lot of accounting people we have project management people. We got a lot of people that have to do planning and execution. So if you can plan, you can become a STEM professional.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How long you been doing this? I know, let's see, I know for at least, I've known about it. You were doing it before I became aware. So
Yeah.
5 years before me, for me, I think I've been on 5 years. So
Yeah.
then before, how long?
Man, since 2009 unofficially,
Yeah.
2010 officially.
Yeah, out of your own dime, I bet you started it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, and I have two co-founders, Dr. Wayne Jones and Kellen Berry, and we just saw a need. We wanted to meet it, and so now moving forward, the need is replacing the school that we started at, and so I say they, right? Northeast Academy no longer exists, and so that was the only school that existed to promote medicine and engineering. So I got a property here in Midwest City, and now I have a youth clinic I'm developing, and then upstairs we're gonna promote engineering. So,
Come on.
Yeah, so replacing what was taken away.
Yeah, yeah, and then before we go, I want you to kind of walk us through what it looks like to support that and to support you in that. But we'll close that for your closing.
Okay.
Your closing
Okay.
ask. We'll close that.
Yeah.
But so what I want to know is the demographic. You said that they said they put these negative labels on what black kids couldn't learn
Yeah.
or what black kids couldn't do. So Class Matters, I know you serve. I've seen all kinds of kids in your
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
But you're targeting a certain demographic. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I intentionally target those that say to themselves I can't, and the objective is to show them that they can. And so specifically, those are those that are C through F range. And so once we get them out of that, they then become the mentors and they go find a friend. So word of mouth is so crazy where it's no marketing. Like the word of mouth is the only marketing. And so on a weekly basis, we have about 180 kids.
Yeah.
And so we want to get to the point where we don't have to turn them away. We just let them all come. So Black Latino is the primary participation, but we eventually want to work with some Native American as well.
Right.
Just underrepresented. And so we just started with adding young ladies. And so I had the idea of, by me being a male, I couldn't offer you anything,
Right.
And then I was blessed with daughters.
Right.
And so you learn the patience. And so my girls, they're so brilliant that they help me not only talk, but communicate in love. 'Cause
Right.
you got to speak the truth in love. So I would say those that are in need of direction and are feeling lost,
I
and
got
help them find their way. So specifically there we go.
Now here's the thing. You and I are in this group of mentors.
Right.
Master mentors. We've been meeting monthly. A friend of ours, Derek, kind of organizes it. Derek Sire organizes it, and it's really interesting to hear the stories. And when I think about the work I've seen you do with those young people at FACT when we shared buildings to do that, you were mentoring. These were not just students. You cared about them.
Yeah.
They were eating. You made sure it was fatherly the way you did it. What does it mean to you to be a mentor? What does that mean to you?
What it means to me to be a mentor is I get to give someone the best version of me. And sometimes I got to give them the flawed version of me. And we heal through that. We grow through that because everyone's hurting. So my objective is to help you not be the one that's hurting others while you're hurting. That's what class matters. So class from a sense of how you present yourself, character, right? And class from academic excellence. You can't say you're about business if you're not taking care of your business. And so what it means to be a mentor is to be an example that you didn't have without the excuse. If you didn't have a father, you have children now. Now it's time for you to be a father.
Right.
If you didn't have anybody teach you math, it's your objective to learn math. You can't make excuses, you can make a change. And you can be the change. And so that's why Class Matters exists, is to show them you have to be the you that you need. Because if it don't exist for you, you have to create it. And if not you, then who?
Yeah.
And so mentoring it's the hardest thing but most rewarding thing I've ever done, because this summer I got people that's about to come work with me at Boeing. I got 5 kids that's coming to work with me at Boeing from a program.
Right.
And I realized how small I was thinking, because I didn't see that. But then I have my alumni students that's working, and their siblings are following them. Yeah. And following their footsteps, and they're buying their first house, and they're inviting you to baby showers. And you didn't realize that you just joined their family, and you come alongside these parents and say, "We're in this together." Yeah. So mentoring is a village. You had a goal. You and I kind of laughed at you. Remember, you had a goal. I said, "What's your mentoring goal?" And you said something about to feed them enough information that they don't need me. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That was it. Yeah. And what was interesting, that's interesting that you remember that. Yeah, because I want to build a self-sustaining individual that don't feel like I grew up on the system and I need to stay on the system. I was born broke on the system, but I won't go there. That's for people who need it, you know? So I'm going to stand corrected. So I was telling you from an old head master mentor, like, yeah, right, keep that as a goal. That ain't going to happen. They're going to always, once you mentor, you're always mentor. Yeah. And so I'm going to stand a little bit corrected. I'm going to change my response a little bit. I'm going to say to you, they do get to a point where they don't need you, but they will never get to a point where they don't want you. Yeah. Okay? I love that. Right? I love that. Okay, that's what I mean. They're going to call. They're going to always call. They do. They're gonna always even the ones you think you lost, they come back later. Yeah. Even the ones that didn't meet the potential that you hoped for. They want you all the time. Yeah, they want you all the time. All right, man. So tell me something. I know one of the things, working with kids or working with young people taught me some stuff about myself. What have you learned about yourself by working with young people? That I can be patient. That I'm a fighter. I'm boxing and wrestling, that's my sport. That's how I escaped. When I say engineering saved my life, all I knew was drugs. That's all I seen. All I knew was sports. That's all I seen. I had some very talented friends, but they ended up going to prison. And all that talented individual was there. Not saying that's where they belong, but not having that discipline is where they ended up. And so if you don't have rap, if you don't have, when I say rap, I'm talking about entertainment as a whole, what do you have? Well, I had engineering. And not only did it allow me the opportunity to take care of myself, but allowed me the opportunity to fund my own program and also take care of my household and whoever, right? Yeah. And so I love it because I made a lot out of the system. This is the only option to get out of the community. I get it. And that's why I promote it. That's why it's important to me. And so what I've learned most about myself is it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to let people love you. It's okay to receive it. Because if you have all the time somebody just leaving, because the kids taught me that you reappearing matters more. They don't care how much you know. They just want to know that you care. Showing up. Yeah. And so those one stops, that's never anything but repeating. You change the narrative. And so being present more than giving gifts, because they don't appreciate the money, but they'll talk about their food all day. All day. Yeah. All day. Yeah. And so learning that the best way to grow is to let people grow with you. Yeah. They teach you so much, so I'm really glad you did. One of the things I was a lot more judgmental than I knew I was until I started working with kids. Kids, and so they taught me to let. Hold on, you gotta explain that. They just taught me I was a lot more judgmental. I would. What happened was, especially as a police officer, these kids came in assuming a whole lot of things about me. In my attempt to try to break that down, it's like, get to know me before you assume me. I was doing the same thing to them. Ooh. Right? Oh. A lot of times, I'm really embarrassed to say now, a lot of times it was based on their clothes. Yep. It was based on their zip code. It was based on information that I was told about them, that, all that kind of stuff. And when you get to know them, man, forget that. Yeah.
Forget that.
Yeah.
Get to know them. I mean, we make assumptions, right? We do that, but I try to reserve my assumptions as long as I can.
Give them a chance. Right.
Because they taught me to do that, because I'm asking them to do that. Don't judge my badge. Don't judge my car. Don't judge the clothes I'm wearing. Get to know me. Sit down and talk to me. If you'll just do that, and then decide if you like me or don't like me, or what you do like me or, about me or not. So I'm asking them to do it. And so the thing about mentoring anybody is it's really, really difficult, if not impossible, to teach something you yourself have not learned.
Okay, I gotta add on to that because that was perfect. Be careful the baggage that you carry, because you just might check it in on them.
That's right.
If my baggage is black males, specifically older black males, and I would, anytime a black male would try to help, I would distance myself from that because of all of my childhood trauma stemmed from a black male. And so I had to heal from that, because your blessing may be tied to that healing that you didn't get, that childhood trauma, right? And so you meet, you know, someone who the
where that black that culture tag over that church where you preaching that church. That's good. That's good.
And so my healed self says, okay, he's an officer of the law, but he's a man of God. And from that, we can collaborate and love, and show that hate is so promoted, but love is so hated.
Man. All right, come on, we can talk forever. Tell us how we support Class Matters and all the things you got coming down the pipe. And then people need to know how to get into summer camp too.
Oh man, I love that.
How to find you and all that stuff.
Yeah, so the website, www.class-matters.org. That's the best way to contact. And if you old school and like phones, 405-509-5396, and let's go together. I love it.
Yeah, make him pay for giving his cell phone out on live, Facebook, YouTube. Make him pay. Call him.
Yeah.
Call him and figure it out.
All these parents and grandparents call all the time.
That's good. Let's make it happen. Man, I appreciate you coming on the show, and I appreciate all the work that you do, man.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it, and I'm a big fan of Class Matters and Dr. Lamkin. I'm a big fan.
I received that.
Fan.
I like how you corrected me.
This is Conversation with Cubit. We'll see you again next week. Don't forget, lock up them guns.